I've had this vision my whole life to be guardian of a piece of land, and be able to bring people somewhere where we can remember who we are, kind of in the context of deep time. That we in those times where we just get lost in the smallness of the detail of our daily life, and then being able to kind of zoom back out and go, hang on a minute, who am I? Why am I here? What's my place in the web of life? And all of that kind of stuff. And then, 35 years later, after doing all this kind of great turning work, as Joanna Macy's term, calls it, her phrase. And the space I'm in now, which is where we wanted to have this conversation from, is the Earth Lodge, which is this beautiful, it's almost like a kiva, and it's built into the side of the hill, and it's made of earth. The soil, the ground, the below is made of earth, the roof is made of earth, the walls are made of earth and wood. There's not a nail in sight, and it was built in ceremony, and it's where we hold a lot of the ceremonies. And I guess at heart, the work that I have felt called to do, even probably from like age 5, I mean, really young, when I was just sort of with the whole majesty of life and the magic of life, and talking to beings that, couldn't physically be seen. And as I grew up, and then I came to my teens, and I was a traveler, and I was an activist, and I was living on the land, and I was moving across the lands, and so I spent a lot of my adult life continuing to do that work. I was an activist for many years, and then running courses and workshops in just helping people to come back to this inherent connection of deep time, and why we're here, and how can I participate, really fully participate in this life in a way that's in alignment with my calling. Because I believe that our deepest longing actually as human beings is to contribute, not what we could get, but actually our deep need to give and contribute. And ceremony is powerful, and we work a lot with ceremony here, because it's like when we go into ceremony, it takes us outside of that kind of ordinary everyday reality, and spirit can enter, the mystery can enter the space, the elements of nature can enter the space, and there's something in that nourishes our soul at a different level, in a different way to the way food nourishes us, or a good hug, or a conversation. Yeah. How do we enrich our soul? And it's that sharing of our inner world. It's that sharing of what brings us joy. It's that sharing of what makes us really come alive. There's that beautiful saying, and I can't for the life of me remember who it's by, but it's like, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what helps people come alive, because what helps us come alive is what motivates us to bring our gifts. And I'm really passionate about the gift economy. So for me, one of the ingredients would be for this deep adaptation is moving into this paradigm where our wealth is based on bringing our gift to the world and receiving support around that, or there being this whole, that money doesn't have to exchange hands. Money is only an IOU anyway. And, it's very easy to romanticize the indigenous kind of, ancestors of yesteryear. But there are aspects of it that the teachings in there are really important. There never used to be a word for I in the language. If you arrived at the village and said, wanted to engage with people, and you said, how are you? I wouldn't say I am well. I would say my village is well, my children are well, the animals are well, the land is well, or not. And if my child was sick, I wouldn't say, we wouldn't say my child is sick, I have to go to the doctor and heal my child. It would be the village is sick, because the understanding was that for that child to truly be well was based on the health of the village, because we are an interconnected web of life, and that everything that happens in that village affects everybody else. But because of the way we live now in these isolated units, we are kind of doing our best to not affect each other. Of course, it doesn't wholly work, but we are you know, we're doing quite a bit of that, and so now we're faced with the loneliness and waiting. It's like, we're not waiting, this is it, we're already here, you know.
Yeah.
I was speaking with
That,
Macy, and she was saying, yeah, it's already here, the great turning is happening, you know, it's not something that's in the future, it's now, it's absolutely now. And deep adaptation is completely in the middle of it, it has so much to offer.